Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. So if you're new around here, hi, my name is Abby, and if you're not new, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video. So in today's video, I will just be putting some makeup on my face. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. It's something around makeup haul, makeup application, just putting makeup on my face. I don't even know. I bought some makeup from Primark, and yeah, so I just thought I'd put it on. It's been a while since I've put on some makeup in general, and it's been a while since I've actually uploaded a makeup video, and I do still do them, if you were wondering. And if you subscribe to my channel, or if you've watched my channel for a while and you used to enjoy my makeup videos, this one's for you. I've kind of been on a skincare journey for a while now, so I'm just trying to incorporate some more makeup videos back into my routine schedule. Anywho, I've got some Primark makeup, like I said, and some other bits and pieces, and where I don't have any new makeup, I'm just going to be using what I already have in my stash. So what do I have on the rotation? So I think rather than run through everything I have, I will just show you what I have as I apply them, so then it's a lot easier. Less talking, more application. So the first thing I'm going to apply is, so I haven't been in Primark in a long time, and I certainly haven't bought anything from them in a while, especially not makeup. The last thing I did buy from them was their PS Blurred Out Skin Conditioning Universal Blurring Powder, and it's a skincare makeup hybrid. It is really good, especially if you have oily skin. I love this powder. I like to apply it in basically through every single stage of my makeup application. I especially like to apply it as the final step because it just gives this really smooth finish. Yeah, it gives a really smooth finish. Blurred out, it actually does blur your skin, so I love it. And it's transparent as well. It looks white, but it's transparent. So it's this really small container. You can't see the writing on here. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. Can it focus? Maybe that's as good as it's going to get. But yeah, it contains niacinamide, superseed extract, and willow bark extract. So I have this primer. This is the Prep and Perfect Brightening Priming Gel. It says makeup hold aid plus glow boosting pearls plus lightweight gel texture. Oh, actually contains niacinamide plus sugar complex. 30 ml of product, 1 fluid ounce, and this is what it looks like. And it cost £3. So this is similar to another item I already have in my stash. I actually need to swap this out for a new one, but this is the Barium Glowman's Soft Focus Revitalizing Cream, and it's meant to be like a primer slash, I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of like a similar primer like this, like a glowy primer, but it's dries matte, and it just gives a glow without the shine, without the grease, without anything. It is the most beautiful complementary glowy primer I've found for my skin type, and it has a yellow base to it, a yellow undertone. So this is the Barium Glowman, and it's really good because it comes in an airless pump as well, and obviously so does this, but that's the color for this and that's the color for this. So it has a really good yellow base, which I like to use to mix into some of my more neutral foundations, and it works out really well. If you remember the beauty, what is it called, the is it LA Girl or LA Color pigments, the ones that came out, nearly broke the internet because they came out in like 3 or 4 different adjusters. There was the blue one, the white one, the orange one, and the yellow one. So this was what I was using because I couldn't get my hands on that for the longest time, and then finally noticed it came back on Beauty Bay, so I did purchase it. I will be filming a Beauty Bay haul at some point, so that will definitely feature in that. But before that, this is what I was using. So if you're in the UK and you can't get your hands on that, and you know about it and you really wanted to try it, this is a really good yellow based primer slash concoction that you can mix into your more neutral foundations if you have like yellow slash olive undertone skin. It gives a really good soft focus finish as well. It's such a nice underhyped primer. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply it to like half my face. I hope it does make the difference it's supposed to make, and it has a more neutral pearlescence to it. It has a almost minty scent to it. And I just hope it dries down. I think it should. I thought it was going to be more glittery. It's almost like disappeared into nothing, whereas with the Barium Glowmans, you can definitely see some pearlescence. It's a lot more pigmented, but hopefully, can I see anything? I feel like I can see a slight, yeah, I can see some like glimmer on my hands where I've used it to apply. So maybe it's just so dispersed that I actually can't see it on my face, but it's definitely there because I can see it on my hand. So there's that. So I'm going to use an oldie but a goodie in terms of foundation. I will be just using my good old Revolution Conceal and Define in the shade 13.2. So if you remember, it has this large doe foot applicator. Oh, I forgot. I have a concealer from Primark that I really wanted to try. And I also have these makeup sponges. So these are called double-sided sponges, and they're £1.50 for a pack of 4. So one side is furry, and the other side is a soft sponge. So the furry side is meant to be used for setting powder, and the other side, the regular side, is meant to be used for foundation. I actually wanted to see how it applies with this Primark My Perfect Color Soft Focus Concealer. This is meant to be a dupe for the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. So this is called the Soft Focus Concealer, and it has a soft matte finish, it says, and it promises to be full coverage and to be for under eye and imperfections. This is in the shade Chai, and of course because it's Primark they don't have a lot of shades, but I feel like this shade is bang on in terms of my skin tone, and I think they had one more shade or maybe 2 more shades after this. Yeah, so this shade is in the shade Chai. I feel like this might be a good match. I'm gonna see how this applies. I don't know if this is the right way, or if this is the best way to apply this concealer. It is disappearing, but I'm going to try my fingers. I do have some darkness in my under eye area, so let's see how that applies. Although typically I wouldn't apply a cream concealer in this area. So you can see it's blending in quite well, and for now it doesn't seem to be settling into the lines in my under eyes. The thing is, I don't know how long it would take for it to dry down. I don't feel like it's dried. It doesn't feel wet. It has a slight, maybe slight tackiness, but it doesn't feel like it's just been freshly applied. But anyway, let me get on with applying my foundation. I didn't really find it too easy to apply the concealer with this sponge, but let's see how it applies with the foundation, if it hasn't already dried down. With this kind of sponges, I never really know whether or not I'm supposed to drag or pat. It's applied it pretty well, but I just think maybe for the like speed I would normally get from applying my foundation with a brush, this part would have been done already if I was to apply this foundation with a brush. So let me just put some on this blemish of the same concealer. Let's see how well it covers. I do have some dry skin that's starting to flare up. And I can already see it, and I think applying it with this sponge would maybe cause my skin to move, which I don't want. But you can see it's blended into my skin, into my nose really, really well. Do you know what? I stand corrected. I think if I do move quickly, this does apply really quickly. But it's just that let me apply some more to this blemish. It's just maybe I'm not used to applying with a sponge, and I certainly haven't done it in such a long time that it feels weird. Okay, I have some what feels like dry skin on my forehead. You might be able to see. So I decided, I don't know what possessed me, I decided to use The Ordinary's, what do you call it, 30% BHA pill. I was clearing up my skincare collection and I saw it and I was like, oh, I haven't used this in a while, let me use it. And then 3 days later, my skin starts like slightly peeling. Well, 2 days later, it started peeling. Started yesterday. I thought I got exfoliated the majority of it. I actually physically like had to quickly rub to see if I can get any excess skin off my face. I haven't used my tretinoin as well because obviously I use the BHA pill. I just wanted to remind myself of what it did to my skin, or like how my skin could benefit, because I remember it being quite good in terms of like making your skin feel really soft and smooth. But nowadays it seems my skin can't quite handle it after tretinoin, because my skin started peeling 2 days later. It's funny how it didn't happen immediately, but I was basically rubbing, I had my hand on my skin and I just noticed like stuff was just coming off all over my cheeks on this side and on this side. So yeah, so this sponge is not bad if you have the patience. I feel like it's like a learning curve, you just need to get used to it. If anything, I would definitely reserve the sponge for like last minute, like once over, for like a last minute once over, just to like smooth over the foundation application. I think that will probably be the best thing, and I feel like I'm having to use more than I normally would as well to compensate for, you know, the foundation that the brush would normally eat as well. So I'm just going to switch to a brush. It's fine. So I like to use my sponges wet rather, so I would prefer if I could wet it, but if I wet it I won't be able to use the other furry side. I feel like some of my dry skin is starting to show. Yeesh. Okay, I don't have a brightening powder. I don't have a brightening concealer, so I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer in the shade Toffee. Oh, can you see? I feel like so there's a bit of, I want to say some skin or some texture in this area. So I think I'm going to just apply some of my foundation because it's a bit more wet and it's not as thick as the concealer. Because of my dry skin, or at least peeling skin, my skin isn't normally dry. Okay, so I think that looks half decent. I'm going to use my Revolution, I Heart Revolution banana powder. I was also supposed to do my contour. I'm gonna cream contour with my PS Perfect, my Perfect Color moisturizing foundation stick. It's really old, but it's a contour stick and it's in the shade Rich Espresso. I'm pretty sure they still do this. So I did used to use this quite a lot and I like the formula. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to use this sponge to do more than maybe touch-ups or to apply my powder, I think. It's just too finicky. I wasn't aware I wasn't recording. I don't know where I left off, but I was just saying that next I'm going to just brush off some of this powder with my face powder. This is the Revolution Super Matte powder. It's more of a skincare slash makeup hybrid again. It has niacinamide and it also contains pink clay and it promises to be non-comedogenic. It's really, really cheap. It's like £3 and it's from the, and it's just, yeah, this is from the Relove Revolution sub brand. It definitely also helps with like blurring, I want to say. So I'm just gonna first of all set my face, and it has a really, really lovely like golden yellow undertone to it. Not even golden, yellow olive undertone, which is great for my skin tone. I don't think I blended. Oh my gosh, this is going well. This is like the third makeup video I've recorded. I recorded 2 towards the end of December and I ended up deleting them because I didn't like the way they turned out. I'm starting to see some indentations. I don't think I blended well. It was because of this freaking sponge. And also trying to like smooth out the concealers with my finger, I think. So there's some skip areas I think I've just set, which is fine. I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Let me see if I can. What can I do? I'm gonna use the sponge part and see if I press. This definitely is a way to get a lot of coverage really quickly. can still see there's like an indentation there and possibly there. I don't know what's going on, but in the mirror, it actually doesn't look bad. It's funny. This camera is picking up stuff I can't see. I just don't understand. In the mirror, it doesn't actually look so bad. So I'm going to, what do I want to do next? I'm going to powder contour with my Revolution XX bronzer. Not contour, yeah, contour. It's more of a contour shade. This is in the shade Vignette. I think I'm going to apply another light layer of the Revolution powder. And then I'm going to dust it away with the PS Blurred Out Skin Conditioning Powder. I feel like that's a little bit better. I'm going to apply some blush. This is the XX Revolution blush in the shade Jaded. And then in terms of highlighter, I will be using my Sleek Makeup Highlighter, my Sleek Highlighting Palette in the shade Copper Plate. Then lastly, I wanted to try, so lastly I got these two mascaras. This is the Brilliant Lashes mascara. It was £3, I believe. And this is the Fake It mascara. It was £2.50. So I think I'll try both. Let's see what the difference is in the two of them. So this has a really weird shaped. So this Fake It mascara promises false lash effect, extreme volume. The formula out of here is quite thick on the bristle, like almost like a dry formula. Actually, this looks very, very fluffy and voluminous. Almost looks like I'm wearing a short set of strip lashes. So I do like it, and I like the fact that the mascara is dry, I suppose. So like it doesn't get everywhere. So if it was really, really wet, I would have this all over my eyelids by now. But it just gives me like fluffy lashes. Next, I'm going to try the Billion Dollar Lashes, which promises instant volume and curled lashes, 16+ hour wear. Okay. this is what the bristles look like. This does give me fluffy looking lashes, whereas you can actually see that my lashes are a bit more upturned with this $1 billion lash mascara, and it separates them out a bit more because the formula is a bit more wet. I don't know which one. I think for daytime I quite like this other one, this Fake It mascara. And then for maybe nighttime with a bit more extra va-va-voom, I really do like this. It does actually lift my lashes. Next I have some lip products. I did get the some of their bullet lipsticks, and the bullet lipsticks are about £1.50. Some of these colors are so nice. Because they were sealed, I didn't get to open them until I got home, and there weren't enough. I don't even think there were any testers. No, there weren't. There weren't any testers, which I thought was weird, but it could be because of, you know, Rona. So I didn't get to see what the colors were going to look like until I got home. So I have 5 of their lipsticks. I think one of these is a luster finish and the other 4 are a matte finish. So I'll start from maybe the lightest. So this shade is, so this is one of their mattes, and it's in the shade Velvet Touch. So on the back you might miss it, but where you can see like the ingredients or whatever it is, right at the bottom you can see the name. I initially thought once I'd taken the sticker off that I wouldn't be able to, you know, tell the difference between, I wouldn't know what the name was because I couldn't see the name anywhere, but it's right at the bottom. Some of the shades don't exactly match, and this is meant to be a matte finish lipstick, so I probably should moisturize my lips. And they smell delicious, by the way. So I did also get a lip liner because I'm obviously not going to leave my house looking like this. I got the lip liner in the shade Spice, and the lip liner is like £1. I think the lipsticks are £1.50. Yeah. It's a lot richer. It has more of a like a red undertone to it. I actually wanted it to be a bit more of a cool undertone, but we'll see how it works. I think in order to make this work, this shade would have to be a lot darker, and I might have to then layer it with another, like a more skin tone, like a dark brown type of tinted lip gloss type of thing, like a, yeah, a dark shaded, like one of my lip glosses that's a bit more closer to my skin tone. But this is what this looks like with the shade Spice. Next I have the shade Shock. I really like this shade. Okay, so this is a really promising shade. I love this shade, but I don't need to line this, and it feels really nice on the lips. It hasn't got too much of a tug to it. I remember when I was using the Ruby Woo Max Ruby Woo, and that actually feels a lot drier to use than this. So I do really like the formula for these lipsticks, and they smell lovely. They smell like vanilla cupcake or something sweet anyway. Let me just do a quick kiss test. So there is some transfer, but there's still quite a lot left. Yeah, I really do like this. They feel really comfortable on the lips as well. Next I have the shade Shock, which is more of a dark red. This is another great shade. On camera it kind of looks a bit more of a like a richer red. In person it looks more neutral. But this is the shade Shock. I think I might like Soulmate just a bit more. Because this is slightly darker, I'll probably say this is a bit more winter appropriate, and this is probably more summer. But this is what they look like next to each other. And the packaging isn't too bad on these as well. I like the fact that they're square. So I had to take a quick break there to charge my battery again. So next we have the shade in the Buff. Hopefully it's not too light. I feel like it's better. So we have the shade in the Buff. This is what it looks like. And I want to say I was a bit disappointed with this shade because I really wanted it to be like a deep chocolatey brown, but you can see it's quite a pale color. It's like 2 shades lighter than what I expected. Am I even in focus? The formula on this feels like it's maybe less, it feels like this is less pigmented than the others. But again, it applies really, really well. Don't mind the application. I don't think this spice shade is going to go really well with this, but let's just see. I don't love the way this looks. I'm going to use my NYX lip liner in the shade Hot Cocoa. Let's see if this is a bit better. I do feel like, yeah, so I definitely need to use a deeper shade of brown with this shade. It didn't help that I'd already used Spice on this, but I think next time if I'm to use this shade, I'll just go in with something that's a bit darker and hopefully it would work out a bit more. In person, it actually doesn't look so bad. Yeah, it doesn't look so bad in person. So this is the shade in the Buff. And then lastly, I have a Luster Finish lipstick. The Luster Finish. I think this broke. Oh my gosh. Right, so next we have this shade. Yeah, this is definitely broken. Oh, this is really annoying. I did want it to, I feel like the shade isn't bad in terms of how it matches the container. It has more of a sheen to it. Obviously it's called a Luster Finish. I think I will use my NYX Hot Cocoa. And it has the same scent as well, by the way. So this is what the shade Luster looks like with a bit of lip liner. It has more of a sheen to it, like I said before, so if that's what you're looking for, that's what this finish looks like. I'm just going to use my XX Revolution Quick Fix Setting Mist. Out of everything I tried, so as a quick recap, what did I start with? So I like this primer. I think it might maybe show up a bit more maybe after a few hours of wear, where the glowiness starts to come through. You can see like my face isn't any more glowy on this side than it is on this side. So I don't know, I think maybe if anything, mix it with your foundation and see how that applies, if it maybe gives you a bit more of a blur or a bit more of a glow. With this Barium Glowman, I definitely felt like you could get that with that. I'd mix it with my foundation sometimes, or I'd just apply it as like a primer base, and it used to give me such a really nice like soft blur type of finish. So I think that's what this is supposed to do, but right now I can't really see any difference per se. I don't know if you might be able to see. If you do, please do leave a comment down below. But I do like this. I will be keeping it and I will be using it again. Next, what did I try? So the concealer, I think with the concealer it will definitely be more like a quick fix type of concealer that I will use day to day. You have to be a bit careful in the under eye area, and I don't know how well it will play with other more liquid concealers. Like I felt like it was lifting a bit after I'd already applied this, and then I applied the More Than concealer. So maybe play with the formula, maybe use a bit more of a hydrating liquid concealer with it if you have to use something. But I love the fact that it blends into my skin really well. That's just a huge bonus. And it wasn't too wet. Like it had a kind of like a satin finish to it. I wouldn't say it's like a matte finish because I don't know if it dried down. I don't feel like it dried down, but you can always set it with your powder. So I definitely feel like I'll be using this like if I'm in a rush and I don't want to wear foundation and I want to wear concealer. It's a perfect skin tone match for me, so I definitely will use it. I will use it with a brush though. It doesn't work with a dry sponge like this. These sponges are really good, and I was really interested in them because it's like this dual side, but I think these sponges will probably be better for powder, or you might want to wet them if you want to use them for foundation or something more liquid, unless it's more of like a hydrating formula where it doesn't dry down. Like if it's a matte formula foundation, I wouldn't recommend you use this because the time it'll take to dry, you're going to end up with streaks all over your face. So it's really great for powder in terms of the puffy side. I found it quite tricky to use, like in terms of fitting into like the crevices of my face. So maybe use it like in the center on the flatter sides, like in like your T-zone, and maybe in your under eye area, I'd say. What else did I use? Oh, the mascaras. I like both mascaras. I think in terms of everyday, I really like the fluffiness like this gives. It's so, I didn't expect this to actually live up. I mean, they're pretty cheap mascaras, so I didn't really know what to expect. I love the fact that this really gives me fluffy lashes, and with this I'm really surprised at how much it actually curled my eyelashes up. I guess I never really realized that these things could work, like these mascaras that promise to be like curling, especially because I already have curling lashes. But both of them really do look good, but they do different things to your lashes, so bear that in mind depending on what you want. This separates, adds volume and lifts, and this adds a fluffiness to your lashes, which I think may be more daytime appropriate. It's more of a dry formula. This is more of a wet formula, not too wet, but it's definitely more wet than this. But yeah, both are nice. In terms of the ease of the applicator though, I will say I think the applicator on this, actually they're different. The applicator on this is bigger, and it felt like I was kind of combing it through my lashes, so it felt more like a lash comb. Yeah, it didn't, because it's plastic, it's not a brush. This is a brush applicator. This is like an all plastic, like a harder plastic applicator, so I felt like I was combing through my lashes, if that makes sense. So this felt more like a typical mascara wand because it's a brush. And then in terms of the lipsticks, I love the lipsticks. I like both reds. The luster is probably the one I'll use least, because I guess because it's a luster finish, I do like a soft matte finish. So the two reds, the shades Shock and Soulmate are the two reds. I really love both of these. I'll see if I can make Velvet Touch work, maybe with a darker lip liner. I think it could work with a darker lip liner. And I'll also see if I can make In the Buff work as well. So In the Buff is the one that should have been really a dark brown, but came out to be a really pale brown. So I'll see if I can make this work. But yeah, I'll play around with it. But everything is, did I forget anything? Yeah, so that's everything. So if you do like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell while you are subscribing if you don't want to miss my next video and get notified when I post. So until next time, stay blessed, have a great morning, afternoon, evening or night wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.